One. Oh, you remember this? Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another fantastic show of What's Good America. I am the Prime Minister of Duval County himself, Mr. Drip. I mean, you got to peep it out just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I can be corporate most of the time, but I got to throw my little flash. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Juicy Fruit, the mahogany chocolate one himself, C. Turner. Don't at me at your mama. I'm here, folks. We back. We got a lot of shows coming out over the next couple of days because I ain't been on my job with the production and everything, but I'm back on it. I got time. I'm back. We back, and I'm here with the main man, the man with hands of satin. You can ask cornerbacks, and you can ask his wife. You can at her, and she gonna tell you that she loves his hands. It's getting weird. All right.
Well, that's actually facts, though. She would probably say that.
It's getting weird. Let me bring it back.
Just
Mr. Saturday night, Mr. Big Time, Mr. I'm Always Open, your future corporate attorney, salesman, representative, aka Mr. Frito-Lay, aka Mr. 401k, James Big Game Madison Walton III. What's going on, baby?
Hey, listen here, man. What's good, America? I mean, and the truth of the matter is this. We are at a beautiful time in the world, Chris Turner, when I'm talking about sports-wise. I'm not talking about, because there's a lot of crazy stuff, and you're going to see some things I could touch throughout this show towards the end as we go to our, award-winning segment. But
award-winning.
When you have college football, the NFL, college basketball, the NBA, and the NHL on at the same time, there's no better time in the world of sports, because that means everywhere you look, there's something important to watch, and it's everywhere. I mean, shout out to my Tar Heels, man. We'll get to that in time. It's a little too soon. You don't really want to jump into college basketball too quick. You want to wait.
You can't expect
December, January
basketball right now. No.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Is my team. We're winning by double digits. We're doing some things. We got a big game on Saturday. We're good. So it's a beautiful.
I don't think I knew that you were a Tar Heel fan.
Man, listen. I've been a Tar Heel fan.
No disrespect.
No, it's okay. I can tell you when it happened.
You seem like a Duke guy. You seem like a Duke guy.
Oh, do I seem like a Duke guy by the way that I
like a Duke guy? You seem like a Duke guy. I mean, there's no disrespect.
I'm going to take that as a compliment and disrespect at the same time, considering the history of this show.
Proper dark skin.
Exactly. Proper dark skin himself. See, that's the thing. So it's a compliment and it's disrespect at the same time. Everybody knows that's been with us since the beginning, knows the history of this show. And it took video for people to believe that it was two black dudes. So, I appreciate that. But at the same time, you could eat shit. Now, but either way, man, the one thing, the one thing that continues to come from this, man, this is a beautiful space to be in. And I'm already thankful for everybody that's watched, the subscribers. It's nice to look up and see the views on our videos have started to creep into the double digits. So, I mean, you got to start somewhere. And Chris, I ain't gonna lie to you, man, as we get into what we're going to talk about here in a minute, I continue to watch these shows do things that we don't do. So your take on Jon Gruden, I don't know how many times I told people when Jon Gruden, when that broke, I said, Chris Turner said that on the show 3 weeks ago. So, I mean, collectively, the way this show works, we basically like Steph Curry at the foul line. We we 90-some-odd% as a team.
Money.
And I just love the fact that we do have that alternative to where it's it's just news to Jon Gruden's going to sue. It's man, Chris Turner called that 3 weeks ago. Might have even been a month. It might have been a month by then. So with that being said, man, Chris Turner, what's on your mind? What's good, man?
I hate that we got to talk about this, but it's kind of relevant to my heart and everything else. LSU football.
Oh, wait. Are we gonna talk about the Joe Burrow LSU again? Because that was fun for me. I had a good time.
We are never.
Are we gonna talk about that?
No. We are never talking about that again. Despite what everybody in Louisiana, that's all they can talk about. Even though that's 2 years removed. Anyway,
I was trying there. I would have loved to talk
Reportedly,
about that, but
reportedly, LSU has offered Lincoln Riley 8 years, $96 million to leave Oklahoma and be the next LSU head coach. Now, let me add on to this. Oklahoma's coming to the SEC soon. Lincoln Riley still has like 2 or 3 years left, I think, with Oklahoma. LSU is willing to pay the buyout on top of the 8 years, $96 million. Plus, let me keep adding to this. They still got to pay $8 million to Ed Orgeron for his buyout. They just finished paying Les Miles out of his buyout. They still have to pay Bo Pelini for his buyout. Are they borrowing money from Jamarcus Russell? Like, where is this money coming from that you can still pay 3 coaches, pay another coach's buyout, and then get your guy?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe you might know more than me. Shout out that very, very, very sexy bottle right there. Man, I'd show you guys mine, but I don't think it's going to really matter. It says American vodka on it. And, I mean, it's a signature, but it ain't a Ciroc signature. You know what I'm saying? Me and Chris Turner working with 2 different bottles right now on the show. I mean, where's that money coming from, Chris? I don't know. I mean, I was watching a national championship game and Odell Beckham was giving $1,500 handshakes on the sideline to the 100 players. Last I checked, I'm pretty sure they've got some billionaires with there. I mean, maybe the thing is for me to ask you, is there some sort of organization of former greats at the University of Alabama that perhaps, that they've got some sort of, 401k or annuity or cryptocurrency that they put into?
I plead the 5th.
So I think that's where that money is coming from. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. But first and foremost, like you're right, like that's a bonkers number.
It's ridiculous.
So shout out to Lincoln Riley for even being worth that type of money consideration. I feel, I say the way I feel about it, honestly, he would be such a drastic, different coaching pick than we've seen in LSU's successful history that we've seen since the turn of the century. I think the only other team that's close to Alabama when you talk about titles in the last 21 years is LSU, because they have 3, I believe.
3.
I think 03,
Yeah.
which was Nick Saban's, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 07, Les Miles.
Yes, yep.
And then 2019.
Yeah. Yep.
They lost in my opinion, one of the better national championship games was that year you guys played each other. And I think it was Trent Richardson basically did it all himself because neither team could score. It's one of the, if you love defense and love old school football, that's about as old school as you get of a game when everything matters. Oh man, you guys got an Amber Alert going on there?
Yeah, Amber Alert.
Good. Hey man, everybody make sure you're taking care of things, man. Whoever that is, hopefully you guys are able to find it, man. Shout out to that. For sure. So yeah, that's the first thing. Lincoln Riley is such a drastically different coaching option that LSU's ever had. Like those type of guys normally are getting paid, as we've seen who is it, Joe Brady?
Yep.
That's obviously, parlayed that right into being an offensive coordinator in the NFL. And if he gets this whole thing with Cam Newton to work, like he'll never have to come back to college till he's ready. He'll get his chance if he can make it work with CMC and Cam. Conversation for a different day. I think I just brought up another topic.
Oh God, can we touch it for a second? Can I ask you a question for a second?
Yeah, go ahead, man. We'll get back to LSU, but shout out Cam Newton. 2 plays.
I wasn't even going to Cam route. Anyway, big shouts out to Cam for being back. It was one game, but still, shout out to Cam. Like I know I'm a Cam hater and everything, but at the same time, I never want to see a black man out of a job. So especially who doesn't deserve it. Anyway, sidebar, as a head coach of a college football team, a power or non-power 5 school, why would you ever want to leave and go to the NFL? Because especially as a power 5 head coach, you are already the GM, the owner, the head coach. You have nothing but power. If somebody says they want to leave and get into the transfer portal, then like, all right, listen, you want to transfer? That's fine. I need your shit off campus in 72 hours, though. Just know that.
And that shit does happen in America. He's not
exactly. Like and you could be just the biggest asshole in the world, and as long as you're winning or doing fine, it's fine. If you're an NFL head coach, a la Nick Saban, like, you can't be a hard ass because, one, these guys make way more money than you. 2, they're grown men as well. And 3, like, oh, you don't want to play me? Cool. I'm still getting paid $15 million, and I'm sure somebody else I'll sit the season out. Somebody else will pay me. Like, you have limited power. And as a control freak myself, if I was a head coach at a Power 5 school that's doing decently, I don't want to go to the NFL.
Well, I respect that, because I think the answer to that simply, CT, is because that's where you feel like you're ceiling it. I think when you talk about guys that do make that jump, you're talking about some of the greatest guys in the history of coaching have gone up there and they've tried it.
Yeah.
Just be like, it's that competitor inside me. It's like, well, if I did it here, I feel like I can take that and do that there with grown men. You know what I mean? Like, Nick went up there, gave it an honest effort. Those teams were not bad at all. But what he realized is what you said, like,
you can't yell at a grown man.
Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day. You know, and if I can't corral them to do it my way, and you get that. So there is a challenge to that. You know what I mean? I think that's why Brady went up there. I mean, but also with it, for him, it's a step back towards there. Because remember, he was in New Orleans. And then they paid him
to go down
a shit ton of money to coordinate LSU, because we got something with Joe Burrow. Like,
yeah,
we can see it. You know, to his credit and his demise, Ed Orgeron is a part of him transferring there. And they realized, we got to open this book up. This kid can do more than what we're letting him do. Yeah. And when they opened it up and he was able to, the greatest quarterback season, arguably the greatest college football season, an individual player in the history of college football.
Very much so.
I think that's what you see with that when guys go. That's why Matt Rule took off. You know, the LSU job was not available for Matt Rule when he was at Baylor. But the Carolina Panthers said, you know what, we like your style, your ability to take a team that was going through everything that Art Briles put them through, and you made them a 1-2 loss team. That's what we see in you, and that's where we're at now, because we're getting ready to turn the corner. Like, they got rid of Cam Newton. That's been the biggest narrative about Cam, was basically that. It was that, well, we're going to turn the page, you know, and we're going to make sure Cam's gone. There's a new voice here. You know, you got CMC, and we're going to build around CMC and try to get you, you know. So they went with Teddy. Didn't quite work the way they thought it was going to work. Sam Darnold's hurt. He's been up and down. I think a lot of that has been because of CMC's hamstring.
Yeah.
And now here we are. He's back to Cam. They still have an opportunity to make the playoffs, because the NFC's, actually both conferences outside the top couple of teams, are a mess. Like,
yeah,
you know, you add an extra game, anything's possible. So I think that's where you get that.
True.
Back to LSU. You know, I'm actually I don't know how I can say this without pissing you off, but so I'm just going to say it.
That never stops you.
I mean, but it's not like a normal dig at you. You know, because I know what pride you take and who is in certain jobs.
Right.
The SEC, because it matters to you when you gloat, right? That's important to you. Like, you want the quality of your gloating to matter.
Right.
You know, so when you guys beat LSU last year on your comeback trail, you were beating the coach,
right,
that had coached at that time they were the defending national champions. And that was very important to you, in the sense of it helps your argument. They still had guys too, which I told you they did not. The entire offense graduated, and Jamar Chase was smart enough to go, nah, bitch, I'm cool.
Nah, bitch, I'm cool.
I'll see y'all on Sundays. Oh, Joe's going, and he looked and saw who was going to play quarterback, and he was like,
nah, bitch, I'm cool.
Nah, and he has proven himself to easily be the smartest college football player in the history of college football.
I agree.
Because he got picked high, is all get out,
and didn't play.
And we're in the conversation with him, like legit being, he's putting up Randy Moss rookie numbers. That's the conversation he's in. That's done. Randy Moss caught 17 touchdowns rookie year. That's the type of pace this guy's on. So good for Jamar Chase. I like Lincoln Riley being one of the options. I didn't even know he was in. I mean, I kind of probably knew, but what a different way to go, right? By the way, as I'm watching this game and I try to take a chance at who the backup running back was going to be, and I'm seeing Allison from Pitt in, and I put in Wayne Gallman. I'm just unhappy right now, certain things. Anyway, I like it because you can say what you want about Oklahoma. And this is where I'm gonna start to feel like it's gonna happen. Say what you want about Oklahoma, but Lincoln Riley has produced more Heisman Trophy winners than Nick Saban.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I will say this.
Well, actually, no, I don't want to say that. I think it might be like
it's neck and neck.
Might be like dead even. In his short time,
right?
What he has done at the position. See, LSU and Alabama were very much mirrored cultures and had been for a number of years. Right. We're going to get all these guys around you, and we are going to give you plenty of talent. And then from there, the rest is up to this quarterback to make sure don't give it away, which we saw when we talk about the title game. One of the best games, I think, of this century was that game, that way.
I'll say this. Is Lincoln Riley a good hire for LSU? Yes, very much so. Because essentially, if you look at it, we're all recruiting the same players. Like out of Oklahoma, Alabama, LSU, we're in the pool of the same guys. Just to be real with, we're all looking at the same 4 and 5 stars. Does that hire scare me? No, not in the least. Because if you look back at those Oklahoma teams, getting to the playoffs has never been a problem. They run through the Big 12. They do what they do. They put up gaudy, impressive numbers. They produce good quarterbacks who do their thing and wide receivers that are kind of hit or miss in the league, but they put up great numbers and it's amazing. But as far as against the SEC, because essentially he would probably bring a couple guys from that staff over. He doesn't scare me because he's never really week in and week out never had to be in that dogfight. And I don't think him bringing that Oklahoma offense to the SEC is going to work out. Did that go in? Oh, no, it didn't. All right. I don't think it's going to work out because he doesn't have a track record of it breaking through. So the hire that I knew was somehow, some way going to shake out, but not saying that Lincoln Riley's a done deal, but I just knew the hire that was going to scare me was if Urban Meyer figured out somehow, some way to get his ass to LSU. That hire scares me because he's one of about 3 guys who can look Nick in the face and say, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not worried about you. I got guys too. He's one of a few. I don't think Lincoln Riley has that. Lincoln Riley has the bravado to bring in the guys, but he's not over that hump yet. He's a great coach. I think he's a terrific coordinator. I don't think he's the guy that's going to get them there. Now, you hit it right on the hammer on the head by saying he's dramatically different from Ed Ogeron. At the same time, if you look at LSU's history of coaches and the guys that they've been successful with, they're in that line of like kind of emotionless. Like that's how their coaches kind of went outside of Big O. Like when they had Saban, like whether they're up by 10 or
they Satan or Saban.
Saban. He was Satan when he was there, though. So when he was there, emotionless. Les Miles, emotionless.
Luckily for you, he didn't put any of them paws on you. You didn't catch any of them Saban LSU paws. You over there being an All-American freshman there playing for St. Bowden. So luckily you didn't catch those hands. So good for you.
I had no. Oh fuck no.
Hey man, I'm telling you, boy, them years, boy, some rough years after Sean Alexander left, boy. It was.
Hey, we don't talk about them probation years at all, baby.
Hey, man, and shout out to everybody. There's some great players that came out of there, man. And I know a lot of your brothers, man. So shout out to them, man. Never any disrespect. I'm just a D2 guy that ended up being better than the top 100 player. That's all I am. I'm just the guy that wasn't good enough. So I don't want Shout out to the Tide, but at the same time, I'm right. I don't say, like I said, Michael Jordan free throw potential. Here, listen though. Listen though, like for real. So I want you to think about obviously how the tide has turned. So remember what Oklahoma used to be, right? And I give Bob Stoops a lot of credit for that, to how they were able to pull guys, basically being that pitcher day in, day out. The Big 12 was a totally different conference. Like when they beat up on each other, like it meant something. I mean, shoot, you talk about Nebraska was still like a perennial national power, That's what we're talking about. Something being completely, totally different. Why I think Lincoln Riley could work. Has Lincoln Riley ever had the type of pull and the type of legacy of an LSU behind him? Like Norman is without a doubt a college town, and one of the best college towns there is. It's easily top 10, top 20, depending on who you talk about.
Top 5, honestly.
Like they love it. It is not a game down there.
Boomer Sooner.
They're all for it. But that type of mind, I think he has. I'm not going to say. I think he has the humility to understand that. You know what? One thing I know I'm good at that I've shown is the ability to facilitate and let other people do their thing. What great defensive mind doesn't go, you know what? Let me go help Lincoln win a title. If I can beat Nick Saban and whoever he's got up there, it's going to lead me. Who's to say that Lincoln Riley can't start doing that in his own way? And a place like LSU can do that for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why when you say like he's not the guy to fear, like you might want to be scared of somebody that he's going to get a different type of talent because of the history of LSU, because of LSU's alumni.
Right.
To Nick Saban's credit, Alabama has always had a very good alumni base before that. And then when Saban got there, it's, turned into basically what Miami used to be. People went to Miami and people went to Florida State because of the people that you would get to rub shoulders with. That's why you went to Florida State. That's a big reason why you went to Florida State. One was Bobby Bowden, two was Deion Sanders and then went there. I know that. I know, especially being a Florida kid. It's like, what clique do you want to roll with? Do you want to roll with the Miami clique? Do you want to roll with the Gainesville group? Or do you want to roll with, Doak Walker? Like, what are we doing, right? I'm sorry, Doak.
You are
Doak Walker.
1,000% right.
So
1,000%.
So Lincoln Riley, as a recruiter, has the ability to go. They got to probably clear some things up, but I got Odell on speed dial. I got Jarvis on speed dial. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Clyde Edwards. Like these are young guys that are making money and making moves in the league. Not to forget the guys of the past that have done some great things there. But they're building off of that national championship team. And for Lincoln Riley to be able to have these guys to come back and speak, it means something. I'm pretty sure. And the fact that what is LSU like what Alabama has never had until recent years? What has Lincoln Riley been able to do at the end of the day? That Heisman Trophy is worth so much currency in college football. You know that better than anybody.
Yeah.
And his ability to put guys that he didn't even recruit and go, I saw you do things there, but you know what? You come over here.
I got you. Yeah. It's big, dude. I'm not going to, I can't lie. It's big. It's just, it's a great pickup for LSU. It is. If they get them, that's great. Like I personally, as a head coach, I would much rather roll into the SEC with somebody who's kind of stable already compared to you're going to have to build this Oklahoma team a little differently to compete.
No, you rather than rolling with somebody that you ain't got to worry about. You seen they track with in no school. Like that's coming from a pure fandom space. And I think that's why you're saying about Lincoln Riley. Me, at the end of the day, as a fan, I think you basically represent about 99% of the fan base. You know what I mean? Like I do. I know that. There is you are different from the majority of the fan base. You're the 1% fan base. As in, not only did I play there, I earned the right to be arrogant and talk shit. So you're like, I want to separate you and every other player that's been there, and also every other booster that's put money into that. You guys are the 1%. You guys can talk shit because you guys have put the blood, the sweat, the tears, and that blood diamond money up into that program. You know what I'm saying?
Allegedly.
Diamonds are forever. I'm just kidding. Bama, I'm just playing. All right. Allegedly. I don't want to get my ass whooped when Chris Turner walks away to get a beer for 5 seconds. I'm getting my ass. Oh, you that mug over there on that podcast with our guy talking that shit. Well, he ain't here to save you now, buddy. He ain't here to save you now. Start talking like you went to Duke. Anyway, so that's what I hear from you. Now, I told you how I feel about this when I heard the rumor, and I'll reiterate on the show because it's just me and you. Or maybe it was me and you last time. We've done so many of these. It's a beautiful thing. One, Chris doesn't even count the number of shows anymore. That's beautiful.
No, it's so God. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's pretty awesome that we're to that point. I think that's dope. The other thing about it is simply this. I think Matt Rule is the right hire. I think he is the hire. Because here's the one thing that Nick Saban has proven, and Steve Spurrier was able to do it a little bit. It was just South Carolina. That just was a tough place, but they just couldn't quite get there. This kid, I think in this era, when you see, I think they're smarter than our era, Chris. I think Nick Saban was able to realize that too. It's like, you know what? It was like a little bit of Denzel Washington, and remember the Titans, like, I'm a mean cuss, but I'm the same old mean cuss to all them kids.
To everybody.
And that's who Nick Saban is. When you guys win, I'm going to invite you over, play basketball with me. We're going to have dinners, we're going to ball. You guys lose, I'm going to run the shit out of you. And I'm going to be that consistent every time. You know what I mean? So you get a guy like Matt Rule who's been there. You can't have a college, and we've seen it, we've seen the video, speaking of Cam Newton, where the kid was talking about, oh yeah, Cam, but you ain't nothing. Like that kid that's like a 1%er that, that literally should have got the taste slapped out his mouth by them other campers. Like, dude, like he's spending time with us and you messing this up because you trying to be a highlight for TikTok or whatever the hell it is, right? Yeah. Matt was able to go like, I know exactly what they're looking for up there. That's what Nick Saban was able to bring back to Alabama.
Yeah.
He says, I know what they're looking for. That was my second time up there. I was there in the early 90s, and I was there in the 2000s. I know what they're looking for. So if you listen to me, I got you.
I got you.
So if you're able to get Matt Rule, to come out of it and go, hey, this is really what time it is. Now, I think that's the type of move. I think they have to make a similar move that Alabama would do. Because Alabama, to their credit, showed them like, hey, we know it's not good enough anymore to just put talent around a guy and the guy can't, this guy has to be able to win games at times. And that's what Alabama's been able to do. Their last championships have been built on the fact that, you know what? We still got the same amount of talent everywhere. But that guy that's touching the ball every play, if we need to, that guy can make some plays.
Can make a play.
Tua was the prime example of that. And you got to give him all the credit in the world. Down by double digits and come in and win the game?
Yeah.
Mac Jones, okay. So, you know, I had to live beyond that. Tua got hurt. I lost to Alabama. I lost the Auburn game when we still had a chance to get there. Tua may have been able to get back, probably wasn't going to get back for that.
No.
But I lost that game. So what did Mac Jones do? He didn't work on this and this. Worked on this. And he worked on this. And he got them, and them guys already believed in him because I remember watching that game, like us talking about that game last year. I mean, 2 years ago when it happened. And I said, I like that kid. And what made it worse for me is when you were like, yeah, I was never worried about what he could be because he's from Jackson. I said, oh, he's from the 9. I said, oh, shit. I said, so he wanted him. I said, okay, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Somebody please not let Chris Turner win this title this year. That's basically what all the shows when we did college football last year turned into.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's what it wound down
Trevor
to.
Lawrence, can you find it? Nope, couldn't find a way. Got stomped out. And as soon as he got beat by Justin Fields, I was like, well, it's gonna be a long year. You let that guy outplay you. And that guy.
Is Justin Fields the same Justin Fields that's the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears? Is that the same guy? I'm not sure.
Don't make me go off screen and go get another pop. I'm trying to keep it to one drink for this show. Don't get me started. So I think the beauty of Lincoln Riley, if it is him, you know what it really is to me, more than that, Chris? It's a true test of him. How good are you really?
True.
Because no matter what, you got to play Auburn and you got to play Alabama every year. And they are always going to be good enough to win the West. I don't care what's going on. Or mess your life up. They are always going to be good enough. And Lane Kiffin is starting to do some things at Ole Miss. If you don't think he's using that Eli Manning, Michael Orr traction and Deuce McAllister and some of these guys, if you don't think Lane's getting that thing rolling, it's like, look, I know how it works there. That's the other thing Lane Kiffin has. I was there.
Out of respect for Lane Kiffin, I will give Lane Kiffin this credit. As a head coach, his claim to fame is offense. And if you look at his teams are built around like, listen, I know offense. I'm going to recruit defense the best I can, but at the very end of the day, I'm going to try my best to outscore you.
Yeah.
And as a man, I respect anybody who says, I'm going to do what I can do really well to the best of my abilities. And whatever I can't do, shit, I can't do. But what I can do, oh, you better bring your lunch pail because I'm going to put up 40 points. You just better hope with my shitty defense, you put up 41. So I respect Lane Kiffin more now as Ole Miss's head coach than I respected him as our coordinator through the championships, more than I respected him as Tennessee's coach, as USC's coordinator and their head coach. Because at that time, he was young and dumb and didn't really know who he was. Now he knows, like, oh, I can call offense. And I can call it pretty damn well. Never mind that my dad is one of the greatest defensive minds of all time.
Yeah.
Maybe a top 3, I want to say.
Yeah.
Or he might be a 1A and 1B.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about money, I mean, it's Monty Kiffin,
LeBeau?
Dick LeBeau, Rex, Buddy Ryan.
Buddy, he's 1A and 1B. It's 1A, 1B, and 1C, honestly. Like it's
And whoever was the defensive coordinator, for like certain teams, like the Steel Curtain and the Fearsome Four, like all them teams in the 70s.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's a small circle, and that would be a fun show to do. Would be the greatest, a bracket, the greatest defenses all time in the NFL. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think LSU.
It's a good hire.
They got exactly what they needed to get out of Ed Orgeron.
Yeah.
Lord knows what was happening the year they won the title. And you know what? Coach O, he act like this dude has been around a long time, man. So if he said, you know what? This is basically my retirement. I'm in my, Coach O's got to be what, mid-60s?
Early 60s, I want to say.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, Chris, he was recruiting you to play college football
He recruited
years
me
ago.
in 2002 at USC to play D-line.
19 years ago.
Jesus Christ, that's right.
So think about how long this guy's been on this grind. So you know what? If he's the head coach and he's there in his home and he's by you and he wins a title, and now he has the claim to go, I coached one of the greatest college football teams in history.
Time.
And then he looks at it and goes, you know what? That might have been my best shot. And he said, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out having fun. I'm going to go out. I'm going to let my family and my friends, my girlfriends. I heard all the reports. I was like, I mean, is that a little messed up? Of course it is. Do I blame a guy that realized, like, you know what? 2019 was the pinnacle.
Yep. Why not? Why not?
So the thing about Lincoln Riley that you have to like, here's a guy that has at least been to the college playoff multiple times.
Couple times, yeah.
He's been there. His teams have been in it. They just haven't quite won that game. And he's young. He's very young. He's young with a very good record. So why it works to me is that he has that ability to still speak the language. Like he's not quite old to where like he gets it. And I didn't even think about this when I was talking. When you talk about cachet, his cachet is I've coached 2 number-1 draft picks.
You want to hide?
If you don't think I can't get you there, you're crazy. That's why they're often, it just clicked in me. Forget the Heisman, which is a big deal. But the fact to go, I have this many number-1 overall picks in the NFL.
In this time span, though, that's the thing about it. I have this many number 1s in this time span.
This is his Rolodex. Watch this. Baker Mayfield, who was making progressive money out the ass.
I hate Baker Mayfield. Go ahead.
Kyler Murray.
I love Kyler Murray, though.
Who is, I think, revered around the league. That he chose football over baseball. I think it gives him even more respect than he had.
Yeah.
Watch this. This is the one that's going to really make you go, huh. CeeDee Lamb. How popular is CeeDee Lamb right now?
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb's his.
Yeah.
And then you can throw on what Jalen Hurts has done.
Yeah.
That's his Rolodex. It's them 4 guys. And Jalen Hurts has an appeal about him that really, in my opinion, Black America loves. They love the story of him.
Oh, you said I can't do it? Okay.
This guy believes in me and said that I can do it. And now look at me. I'm having a chance to earn and win this job. And to his credit, he has played very well the last couple of weeks. I still don't trust him.
No.
But I'm not going to deny good football. He's played very good football in him. But what is going to make me right is, what did I tell you about Devontae Smith?
listen, I'm not.
That's a different show. I'm going to let you breathe about it. And I told you what I know. And I'm getting sick and tired of people in my life that think that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to that position. I'm sick and tired of it. Never as good as any of those guys at the age they are and what they've done. But it takes something to be that guy. And you can see that. I was openly rooting for Devontae Smith on this show, and I hate Alabama. That should have been my give me a minute, but you know what? All I'm saying is this is a great discussion because it's not over. Because there's 8 people in this thing. I saw some sort of list. It was crazy. Mel Tucker's in this thing, and shout out Mel Tucker.
Yeah, Mel Tucker's getting money.
Shout out Mel Tucker. That he has a chance, from what I've read, to be the second highest paid coach. And the only guy he's behind is Nick Saban. I mean, if that doesn't scream compliment to you that a school says, you're going to be our guy. You've shown us what you can do in 2 years. We can't wait to just hand the keys over to you and turn this place, because I think a lot of it's because they know, man, once Tom Izzo's gone, we gotta have some sort of identity.
Gotta do something.
That basketball team is going to be a mess when Tom Izzo finally.
Also, and I'm glad Bays isn't on the show, so I can say this with pride and not have to bite my cheek when I say this.
You act like he's not going to see this and listen to it. Are you going to? Did we just do this show just to say some things? You're going to put it in the archives?
No, I'm gonna put it out, but at the same time, I don't want to say it with and see his face. Shout out to Michigan State, who during their peaks, their lows, their highs, and everything, routinely hires African-American coaches, head coaches.
Yeah. You got recruited by African-American coach.
Damn right. And I'm, once again, glad Bays is on this show. Was Michigan State ended up in my top 3. Like, if you go back and look on Rivals, like, it was USC, Florida State, and Michigan State. Because it's something about sitting on the other side of a head coach's desk and seeing somebody who looks like you in a position of power. I'm just gonna leave that like how it is. Like,
yeah, I didn't get to see it until I was 26 years old.
Like,
so,
it's a big deal, dude.
Man, what was that? I mean, it's amazing. You know, it's not any knock, and I'm not trying to say that, but it's amazing sometimes when you can see somebody that's capable within a position and you give them the freedom to do that. You know, let it be known. You know, I've played football since 1997, but I had a 2-year window where I caught 68 touchdowns. So,
oh my God, how does this work its way back into this? Jesus Christ.
Well, the same way it always works back to Alabama being the best of all this, and they all right. They all right. So, and number 2, Chris, it's my show. How else would it? We're gonna find a way. That's a shout out to Coach O, baby. That's what that was. Anybody that can put the dots together. It ain't about the 68. It's about connecting the dots of like, yeah, you know, my whole career, my coaches looked a certain way. I had a 2-year window where my head coach looked a lot different. So did my offensive coordinator. Looked a lot different. A lot different. And thanks to them guys, we have this podcast that one day.
Very true.
Is going to go exactly where it is. We'll be able to thank the world.
Very true.
I tell you what, man, I think this is right now, this will be the off-season story of the year.
Yeah.
And I respect LSU for basically going like, we're going to make ourselves known now. We're this dead ass serious about like, we enjoyed being back in the spotlight. Like they've enjoyed.
They earned.
And now they're 2 seasons removed, and they're like, oh, man, we're getting beat. We're going to be in a bowl game, but we're going to be playing on December 27th. We need to get back to playing on January 1st and beyond. Like, this is not a look for us. I mean, okay, here's a name I would throw at you before we get on out of here, because I know Zozo probably like, come on, Daddy. The guy I'd go get is Luke Fickell.
Yeah.
Because they're, as long as they don't mess up and lose the conference championship, he's going to be the first coach to put a non-Power 5 conference guy in there. Because there's no, you can't deny them this year. There will be no leapfrogging the way it's set right now, right? So the way it's set, right? I haven't seen the rankings.
There shouldn't be any leapfrogging.
You can't do it this year. You know why you can't do it? Because you've been criticized for not doing it with, in my opinion, better teams. That Central Florida team, that team was so good, and you know it too.
I agree. I agree, but do you honestly think they give a damn about public opinion?
Oh, yes, they do. You know why they do?
Dude, I'm gonna tell you the same thing I tell motherfuckers at work and everybody in my life, personally and professionally. At the end of the day, it comes down to money. And Cincinnati's gonna sell tickets, but not as, oh, this is gonna hurt my heart, but not as much as Notre Dame, Alabama, Miami, like all these prestigious schools. Like it just comes down to it. Now, at the end of the day, if Cincinnati is sitting there with no losses, there's no way you can pass them up. But if they lose to Memphis, insert here state, then that's a terrible loss. But then it's a loss. So if they stay perfect, I agree with you. They should be in. But if they leave that margin of error, like if they beat somebody by like just a field goal, that shit is magnified.
Can I be honest with you? I've been holding and laughing for like 3 minutes. One of the funniest things you've ever said. Insert state here. But I had to let you finish your point before I said anything because that was hilarious. Insert, if they lose the insert state here.
Yeah, I don't even know what conference they're.
That's a t-shirt. Listen, okay, you know what? I just figured out what my give me a minute is. I was so angry. I forgot to tell you about this. We got to get unbroke because some of the things we say on this show is so good. I'm telling you, people are listening, bro. Insert state here. You could use that in so many ways. Like, that's so brilliant, dude. Insert state here. God, that'd be a college playoff t-shirt nightmare. Like, that's hilarious. So, on that note, you know what? Off that, that's the best. That dude, that was brilliant. Like, that's why I had to let you go. That's so good. So, you know, it'll be fun to see what happens in college playoff. But you know what? I'm gonna start to give you a minute here. And you know what I'm gonna do for this? Let me see. Sorry, America. I know I'm going trying to do everything I can to stay on camera. So I gotta take a swig of something before I do this one. And I think this is a perfect one since, you know, we're doing product placement. And this is basically what my give me a minute is going to be about. I'm going to go first. So, America, you know we made it. You know we made it when we're having Terramana on with the Terramana man. Still my goal. I mean, I take Roman Reigns at this point. You know what I'm saying? Either or, you know. So, America, oh, Lordy. Oh, I'm about to chase that down with some Kirkland signature American vodka.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy.
America. Oh, good Lord. Give me a minute. So I was, this is what I love about doing things when we don't even discuss what we're going to talk about until like 10 minutes for the show. And I was going one way with a give me a minute, but as soon as Chris Turner said, insert state here, which is one of the funniest things I've ever heard in anybody talk about college. I've never heard that before. It brought me to this point. And I was telling Callie this, and this is the truth. I don't know what I saw. It was some TV show. Something I saw, and you know, obviously this show makes us have to be on Facebook or whatever. So you see a lot of everything and meta, whatever, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, whatever it is. And Chris, when I tell you, it was some show and within the dialogue, there was a guy talking to his girlfriend on the show, and this dude said post-nut clarity. I lost it. I lost it. Just in my head, I said, we literally said we were going, I said I was going to do it from the first time I ever brought it up on this show. So this show now, America, I want you to listen good. I hope this part does not cut off on YouTube or on Facebook when we post. I know things are still cutting off, whatever. But I want you to understand the brilliance of Chris Turner and myself. A TV show where they are paying actors hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've never even seen this show. And trust me, I watch a lot of shows with white people in them, okay? So I know this. Somebody stole from us because we didn't have the balls or the funds. I mean, you know, white people.
There you go.
To trademark post-nut clarity. I did a whole give me a minute about it a year ago. And it's on somebody's TV show. And now it's gone forever. I'm going to say it once this time, because I will continue to say it a bunch of times. You're looking at a Michael Jordan free throw percentage. All I got to say. So salute that show. Somebody, if you watch this video, let me know what show that is that talked about post-nut clarity, because I couldn't even believe it. I was just like, clicked on it, and it was like something about, and it said PNC, and I said, oh no. And they said, it was on a TV show, and they literally said post-nut clarity. I said, these motherfuckers are thieves. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. That is my phrase. That is mine, which in turn, I stole from my wife. So I guess everybody.
Oh, shit.
But I will say this. I did have a little PNC before this show started. So, I mean, there it is. So PNC to talk about PNC being stolen from us. But I will say this right now. Insert state university here. That's a movement. Because if I was at Alabama, I would put those shirts and listen, and crimson and cream, and those would be championship shirts, Chris. I'm telling you right now. Who's gonna lose to Alabama this year? Insert
state.
Insert state question mark, university question mark. I think that shirt would sell out in Tuscaloosa. So America, that's me putting our product placement all over time. That one's up to Chris Turner. I just gave something to the Roll Tide Nation, something I thought I would never do, but you're welcome. And you should thank Chris Turner because he might have just made your t-shirt that can last forever. So America, that's been my minute.
All right, let me get my shit together.
I'm sorry. I was so angry. I saw it. I was so angry. I remember showing Callie, and you know, she was like, "Oh yeah, that does kind of suck." I think she was angry. She was like, "Well, that was an idea."
All right, America. As I take my sip real quick. So Rock Boys in the building. America, give me a minute. Post-nut clarity. That is fucking amazing. Insert. We gonna merch the shit out of some of this shit here real soon. Like that shit's happening.
Yeah, we're at the point, dude. We gotta do something.
All right. I'm gonna switch it. And I'm gonna try to get serious, even though I'm a bit intoxicated. Because I'm overserved as shit right now, and I still gotta work in the morning. All right. Yesterday, today, we lost. It depends on when you see this. We lost a Southern hip hop. I'm not gonna say legend, but a Southern hip hop artist in Young Dolph. I'm a fan. I've been a fan for many years. I remember when he was like pretty much running the strip clubs in Memphis. His beef with Yo Gotti, like like I'm a Southern hip hop aficionado. So I've been a fan of Young Dolph for a minute. I've been a fan of Southern hip hop since 1984, since the day I came out, man. Because you got to think I'm from Florida, so I came out to Two Live Crew, JT Money, Poison Clan, DJ Magic Mike. Like these are like, I'm a fan of Southern hip hop because they talk about stuff that I grew up to. But I say that to bring it nationwide. Like we gotta stop killing our own. Some of our greatest hip hop artists of the last couple of years, Doe B, Nipsey, Young Dolph, they didn't get killed in a drive-by shooting in LA and everything else. They got killed at home. Like Young Dolph was just at that same restaurant the day before doing a free promo because he genuinely liked the lady's bakery shop, her cookies in Memphis. So what he said was, yo, I'm gonna come back tomorrow, blase, 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 like y'all should come too. And him doing something out the kindness of his heart, him genuinely saying like, yo, like these cookies are good. They are made in Memphis, like come check them out. He gets killed for that. Nipsey Hussle in front of his own store in his neighborhood by apparently another Crip, which I'm not glorifying gang violence or anything like that, but that's like me getting killed by another Sigma. Like that it doesn't make sense. Doe B got killed at home. I go a long way to say this. One, all skin folk ain't kin folk. That's first and foremost. I learned that. My mom taught me that at a young age. And two, in God's name, when did we get to a point where you can't go home and show love? Like, I'm not even gonna say we, are you at such a point now, kids, where you don't want to see somebody else successful? Like somebody came from the same struggle, the same adversity, the same troubles that you came from, and they make it out. You don't want to see that person win? I'm far from Young Dolph. Like, let's get that shit understood. But when I go home, I go to the same spots and everything else, and I get love. Like, I hate to think that it's somebody plotting, like, oh man, I'm gonna take this motherfucker down because he made it out. Like, we gotta stop killing our own. Like, the only way for all of us to get better is if one by one, all of us make it out and you reach back. This man was reaching back to a local restaurant, a local bakery, and saying, hey, come in the hood, come to this restaurant. They got some bomb cookies, whatever, and got killed for it. I don't know the whole story. Nobody deserves to die like that. Nobody deserves, who has 2 young children and a wife and is providing for them. Nobody deserves that shit. So at the end of the day, stop hating, stop, like, if somebody makes it out, don't try to hate on them for making it out. Like, figure out how they made it out and see if they'll help you or point you in the right direction. At the end of the day, America, that's been my minute. So,
yeah, it was tragic. And I saw it too, you know, and we kind of talked about it for the show, and I'm glad he addressed it, man. It's just, you know, we got enough going on, man. I mean, we're on the verge of like some wild shit that's getting ready to break, and which is par for the course as I start to sing my song. How's it go? Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh. So I'm just saying, the last thing that needs to be done is senseless violence, because I already know that some senseless violence is going to come based off of some senseless violence.
yeah.
We need to get to a point, and obviously it's us, pleading to our communities, but just in general, man, I'm going to plead to everybody else that's, not the skin folk with us too. Should be the same way with them as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, like, God does enough on his own time. You know what I mean? He brings enough people home. Like,
Back.
doesn't need it to come from that way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you, dude. And I will say this, America, you're going to continue to get all these introspective views. The ability from us to go from, being intrigued by what's going to happen at a powerhouse to making jokes about the fact that people are stealing our shit. And then we're still going to be able to keep it real and be honest about what's going on in the world, man. That's our show. That's really what America is. Like RIP to Young Dolph. Like, I don't really know the music, man, but Chris gave me the history for the show, man. Like, that's sad. Like, it really is. But this show's going to continue to be this show, man, as we talk about it all, because I feel like we encompass a lot of it. I'm not going to say we encompass all of it, but
we get a good deal of it, buddy.
But that's who we're going to continue to be, man. So, I mean, on that note, man, it's your boy, the young Sixer. Used to wear one every once in a while. Famous for the 84, but not quite the floss like Randy Moss. But getting it in with the hot wife for the win is your boy, James Walton. And my man on my left-hand side. And that's the only way I gotta look. Because you know what? If there's somebody over there on my right-hand side, he's gonna smack the shit out you.
You goddamn right. So, man, it is what it is. Listen, America, we got 3 episodes coming out tomorrow. All right. I might get bored and put this episode out tomorrow. Listen, I got time. Like, I got time. Work is going well. I got time. All right. Clearly, I've been in the gym because, like, I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I'm down 16 pounds. I don't see abs, but like I see like where my stomach getting flatter and shit. Like some of my khakis like way looser. So like, I'm just saying, America, if I get 2 abs, you can kiss a shirt goodbye. Ever. Long story short, before I don't want to run too long, I got this idea of the tight shirt crew from my right-hand man, because when he was hitting 315 a couple times, he decided that him and his boys were the tight shirt crew or the no shirt crew. So if this stomach get a little bit flatter, I put this on Sharon Anita Turner. First of her name, mother of so many. If my stomach get 2 abs in it, I will not wear a shirt for months at a time.
I mean, chocolate pudding is just going to take over this show. I don't know, America, if you haven't gone back and seen the swag of those shows when he had his shirt off for a while, you might want to go take a look at those chocolate pudding shows. I mean, he was the epitome of Reza Ramon. He was oozing machismo during those shows. I mean,
it's a wrap.
He had a drip on, the tattoos was out.
It's a wrap.
Man, he was like, hey, yo. I mean, that in itself is a mouthful.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. But all that being said, make sure you check Spotify. Make sure you check Anchor. Make sure you check YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, actually, because I just figured out how to get that stuff on Apple Podcasts now. Exactly. So, Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you want to find What's Good America for your streaming and for your ignorant pleasure, you going to find your boys. All you got to do is just tag us in it and let somebody who don't listen to it so they can let somebody who they don't know listen to it as well. We going to get there, but we need your help to do it. That's all we need, baby. We appreciate the comments, but make sure you share it. But the same question I asked you tonight is the same question I ask you every night, James Madison Walton III. And what is that?
What's good, America?
What's good, America?